What up, YouTube? We are back with another Diablo Immortal video, and in this one we have arguably the biggest patch notes that we've gotten since a major update. Now, please note, this is not considered a major update, at least to my best knowledge, because they keep referencing a upcoming major update. So I think this is still one of the smaller updates, but it is by far on the larger size of the smaller updates. Let's get straight to it because there's a lot to cover. All right, so first things first, I've already read through the majority of this. I might have to remind myself of some things, but a little preview of the new Battle Pass skin, which looks good here. I'll note that. And then, so you can see the codex is actually pretty large. So we have a brand new Phantom Market coming to the game. This one is by far very different looking than any other Phantom Market that we have ever had, at least in my opinion. You'll note that it's very risque, and you can actually switch or toggle between a human form and a demon form of these skins, according to this. So this will be coming out on August 21st, so here in a few days, actually. And then, yeah, so the uniqueness is the fact that you can sort of toggle. Keep in mind, every Phantom Market cosmetic does come with a uniqueness part to it, and this one is the fact that you can alter which form you're in, either a more demonic one or a more human form. So pretty interesting. I do like the color scheme as well, being purple and pink. I think the only thing, in my opinion, that would make it even better is if they actually had the wings that change too. We don't, and they might. I have no idea, but that would make this very, very sick, because that's always my favorite part, is when they change what the wings look like. But anyway, let's continue on. So it goes through all the different percentages there. This is a new LTE, or limited time event. So Winds of Fortune, essentially between August 29th and the 5th, you're going to be getting a double basically double the rewards for everything listed below. So the Heraldric Bestiary, Challengers, Bounties, Fishing, Dungeons, Purge the Depths, Accursed Towers, Hidden Layers, Farming in Wild Zones, and Codex activities. And a note that during this LTE, Battle Pass rewards will not be doubled, and the weekly limit on Battle Pass points and normal gems are not changing. Any bonus experience gained will be affected by your current modifier. So it depends on where you are in terms of your Paragon level, is what that's referring to. Now we have the Forsaken Justice LTE, and by the way, this artwork is beautiful, if I could say so myself. So this is going on September 5th through the 15th, and this is essentially another one of those like previews as to what is to come in the quote-unquote next major update. You will get on 3 different rewards in game, so day 2, day 4, and day 8, which is days 7th, 9th, and 13th. And that's that. New legendary items. I'm going to cover this in a different video, because these always take a lot to sort of cover, and there's a lot to cover in this one. So if you do want to see at least my overview of all the new legendary items and who I think got the best luck out of it and who got worse, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I'll be covering that in the video tomorrow. My gosh, there's so many. And so this is the Battle Pass skin. I'm going to keep it muted because I don't know. Well, there you go. So as you can see, it's very antlery, very wide. I think it looks great on the Necro. But yeah, so there's the okay, let's do this. So there's the overview of what all of the classes will look like. It looks okay. It's pretty decent for a Battle Pass skin. It looks similar to ones we've had in the past. I do like that the shoulders are like the bone skulls. Those are pretty sick. I think it's more on brand for the Necro, in my opinion, but all in all, there's that. It's a Battle Pass skin, like I said last time. All right, Whispers of a New Worldstone quest. So the act of destroying the Worldstone shards has warped your soul, and dark whispers echo in the shadows. As you walk through your adopted home of Westmarch, you may hear errant voices. Whether you choose to listen to them is up to you. So no idea what this is. That's a very much a sneak peek of the sneak peek of what's to come. The one thing that I thought was most interesting, and if you watch my live streams, which I do live stream every Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday starting at 9:30 on both Twitch and YouTube now, make sure you stick around for those, because I've talked about this. But the one thing that popped out to me here is the adopted home of Westmarch. Now, I could just be clinging on to something that's super irrelevant, but I thought that was interesting. All right, I thought this was a little weird. So the reason I think it's weird is that I have the hypothesis that, you know, we know Diablo's coming, right? We know that some bit he's about to just wreck us. We're probably going to fight him at some point. Like, something bad is happening in Q4 of Diablo Immortal, which is right around the corner. My hypothesis is that Westmarch is going to be obliterated, and that we will have a new home or main area that we will utilize. And I think that's going to be sick. So I don't know. This could be me just reading too much into it. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. But returning events, so the Fractured Plains coming back, Conqueror, all the normal events. We love this one the most. Survivor's Bane, Alley of Blood's also super fun. This is on the normal monthly rotation, and it's all good. We like having things available to us. Now, this is the thing that I thought was very interesting as well. So feature updates, class and battleground balances. Now, some of this is really, really exciting, and some of it's, well, we'll just have to see how it plays out. So Barbarian, Sunder, primary attacks additionally increase the bonus effect damage from Sunder by 3%, stacking up to 90%. I don't know what it was. That's where it's always hard. Okay, like this is much better. So increase attack speed now stacks from 15 up to 45. But again, it doesn't tell me what it was. Oh, so this is more frequently. So it's every half. From 0.5 to 0.03, Wrath of Berserker Retaliation Rage increases by 40%. Retaliation trigger more frequently. Okay, so buff, at least for the third one. I have no idea. I mean, this sounds like a buff because it's adjusting. It's increasing the attack speed. Primary attacks additionally increase the bonus damage effect from Sunder. Oh, I guess that's just new. Okay, understood. Swarm of Bats, damage increased by 28%. Wow. Bleed damage increased by 12%. Can now cast while moving. And this is, of course, a very specific Swarm of Bats, but overall damage increased. Umbral Lance, damage increased by 14%. Explosion damage increased by 33%. Can now be cast while moving. So they're really looking at like wall casting while moving, which is pretty interesting. Skewer, damage increased by 44 for that one thing. All right, so I'm not going to go through this. It's already kind of hard to decipher if it's a buff or nerf. But you can look through these if you want. There's some changes there. The Monk, actually, I'm curious about the Monk. Maximum charges increased from 2 to 3. Okay, now reduces the cooldown of Exploding Palm by 0.5. All right, okay, that's a good one. That's actually a really good change. Balance and Moderation, Cyclone Strike damage increased by 20%. Damage radius increases by 20% as well. That's awesome. Now increases movement speed by 30%. That's very nice. Wow, Balance and Moderation is sick. Shield of Zen, baseline, can now be cast while moving. Okay. I mean, it's like a quick little burn. It's not like you cast it. I guess it just won't stop movement, essentially is what they're saying. And then Shield of Zen, Fires of Peace can now be cast while, again, the non-cast while moving is just means it won't interrupt your auto pathing, I think is what they're basically saying. All right, this one, Shield of Zen no longer grants an absorb shield, instead grants 35% damage reduction and knockback immunity for its duration. Damage radius increased by 20%, can now be cast while moving. Okay. So there's all those. Now Paragon changes. So many players at Paragon level 99, this is more or less of a bug instead of an actual Paragon change. So you basically had to beat this dude in order to unlock Hell 1 or 2, it looks like, and then you couldn't get past Paragon level 100. So if you're impacted by this and you're a newer player coming back to the game or coming to the game, or a returning player who didn't make it this far, well, this is apparently going to fix that for you. All right, and then they also removed it, so it won't be an issue moving forward. Inferno 1 combat rating changes. They're lowering the requirement by basically over 4,000. Battle Pass UI updates. I thought this was interesting. Starting with the Devouring Mist Battle Pass, which is the one that we just looked at, we are updating to a redesigned Battle Pass main screen and codex. The themed UI on the main screen and codex for each Battle Pass will be reduced to the seasonal icon and the color that represents the Battle Pass theme. The new UI interface is inspired by Ancient's Cradle, mixing angelic shapes in an inner demonic nature. The codex now also displays a timer which indicates the remaining days of the Battle Pass. It did. It was at the top left of the codex, right? I mean, whatever. Battleground resonance notification. So this is interesting. So Battleground, all right, in Battlegrounds, we have now changed how we're matchmaking to players' power rather than simply using resonance levels. So if you haven't played PvP or you have played PvP, you're very aware that matchmaking is very frequently not balanced at all, because there's a lot more that goes into a character's power outside of just resonance, which is hopefully what they're getting to here. Matchmaking for Battleground based off resonance levels didn't fully capture a player's true power. Completely agree. Often leading to an uneven matches when a player's entire host of skills and abilities were considered. Okay. We will now use a new system for matchmaking that takes comprehensive combat power from matchmaking, which better represents a player's overall power. Now, this is a little confusing to me because they had an update or patch notes like several months ago that talked about now using normal gems as part of the like measurement. Did it not work? You know, like was it actually not doing that? And now we are doing that. I mean, there's obviously still more that goes into it outside of just those two things, like normal gems and resonance, but yeah, no, I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, so this is the dev note about it. So we found that using combat rating, resonance, and levels, battlegrounds, match score, and resonance level to matchmake couldn't fully capture a player's overall power. This led to instances where players, basically the same thing it's set up here, were vastly different player power, which was frustrating experience. To solve this problem, we've instead chose to use comprehensive combat power for matchmaking. Comprehensive combat power is calculated based on all your player abilities and power. This includes life, damage, the previously mentioned 4-dimensional attributes, which is level, battlegrounds, match score, resonance level, which is only 3. Huh. I am confusion. Isn't it weird? They say, unless they're including combat resonance. No. So, and 4-dimensional attributes. Level is 1, battleground match score 2, and resonance level 3. Am I missing something? Or is there not 4 here? Man, I should have done this live so you guys could have coached me if I was wrong. I'm only seeing 3 here. Whatever. All right. So this includes life damage, the previously mentioned 4 dimensions, damage reduction, and damage increase of what Desha, legendary gems, and more. Yeah. So is it just missing a space, or is that a word? Yeah. Okay. Good. Just making sure. Accurately judge your overall combat ability with combined with the new matchmaking rules can bring better balanced matches. If you're curious about what this is referring to, it's talking about how your respawn time will increase based off, if you're the defender, based off how the progression of the idols are going in that second to last phase. On that note about balancing it, they're basically saying legend will not be balanced, and that resonance upon reaching a legendary rank goes out the window. But now there will be a notification to help clarify that if you are upon reaching resonance level 3500, there is no longer resonance considered in matchmaking. So you will, at 3500, will go up against people at 11k. So basically, if you wanted to have, do I want to say this? So essentially, if you wanted to not play against whales, you should keep your resonance below 3,500. And that's all I'm going to say. These rules have been in place for a long time, but to help avoid confusion, we're added a notification that explains. Yeah, okay, we already talked about that. Accursed Towers updates and season end. So this one's actually really important. So if you made this far in the video, make sure you like it, because you're going to want to farm your 3 chest for the Accursed Towers like now. So they are ahead of so we have extensive changes coming to Accursed Towers with our next major update, which sounds like it's coming up soon. So ahead of these changes, we wanted to let players know that this current season of Accursed Towers will end after the server maintenance has concluded, which is literally in 2 days. On season end, we will send out rewards and compensation for the shortened season, essentially. All right, so basically the Accursed Tower is about to end because they're going to be changing it massively in the next major update, which sounds like it's next month based off this timeline of ending this already. Hellslayer bounties and Oblivion Pillars difficulty changes. We've modified Hellslayer bounties difficulty, which will make them easier to complete. Happy slaying. All right, a little bit more free to play friendly there, because they could be a little challenging, like depending on your power. So this is probably good for the majority of people. Terror Rift performance optimizations. We're making performance updates to Terror Rifts on all platforms. Expect the same amount of monsters and chaos thrown your way, but they're basically just improving the overall performance of them, which makes sense. Abyssal Essence tutorial. So we have recently made improvements to the Abyssal Verge, and with these upcoming changes, there will be a UI tooltip to prompt you to find the Abyssal Essence in your inventory after collecting 10 of the Abyssal Essences. All right, Trial of the Horde update and matchmaking changes. They're basically going to make it so you can't just go up against the same person every single time. And they're adding additional, basically a display button so you can see some more stats, including your wins, your total matches played, your wins, your win rate, and your longest win streak. Friends list private status. If you actually don't want to play with your friends and you want to appear offline, that will now work as intended. Apparently it wasn't. I would not know. I don't hide offline. Although maybe I should, really. Optimizing damage over time skills. We're making performance improvements to some of the damage over time skills in game to help overall performance. Changes has been made to the following legendary items which have a sizable ignite debuff. All right, Barbarian, Hell's Legacy, and Sunder's Legacy. Demon Hunter is Hellbinder. These skills now will be active for 0.5 seconds rather than 1 second, but now do double the damage. Overall, these skills still output the same amount of damage. Okay, so it's not necessarily a nerf, it's just an adjustment. So it'll do more damage up front and it won't tick for as long, essentially, which is fine. This is the one that I thought was kind of bad. I don't understand it. If you've played the game at all recently and you were like, wow, the market is dead, it might get worse. As I open my Mountain Dew, I'm parched. Do the do. So they're lowering the minimum market prices for some gems. So normal gems used to be capped at a minimum of 100 plat, and now it's being reduced by 50% down to 50 platinum. So those red ruby gems that you like to sell to try to get a little bit of platinum, you're now going to get even less platinum. Honestly, I cannot for the life of me understand this. I hope somebody in the comments can make clear of it for me so I can pin the comment to let everyone else know, but I don't understand these changes and the value it adds to anyone. Because keep in mind, this is 50 platinum, and then the Blizzard cut, it's still going to happen. So like, why? All right, so 1-star legendary gems are unchanged. Great. 2-star legendary gems are going down to 1,600 plat from 2K plat, and then 5 stars are now going to be as cheap as 12,800 from 16,000. And somehow it says this now balances the minimum prices for all qualities of legendary gems at a flat cost of 400 platinum for each rank of gem. What? That's 4 times 2 is not 1,600. That would be 800. Did you do this? All right, I don't know. I don't get it. Let me know if you understand in the comment section below. I honestly, I have no idea. Someone will need to make sense of this for me. Region-specific game editions. They're changing the UI system. This is only being added in China. Various game optimizations, Abyssal Verge and Castle, blah, 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 changes. They've added battle pass points to these for those rewards, for those things. I don't know why we wouldn't get that, but whatever. Random dungeon button issue. It sounds like there was an issue with the random dungeon finder, so now it's fixed. That's it for the patch notes, guys. Honestly, like I said, there's a lot to unpack in here, and it's 17 minutes in the video, and I haven't even covered all of it. I'm going to be covering all of the new essences in tomorrow's video because, well, I like to break down in great detail, and that video can also get kind of long because I like to like sort of theory craft with you guys and see who wins in terms of the new essences and maybe what's going to be the new meta or who you should test out first. So that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you think about all the things that we discussed, because honestly, there's some good, there's some bad, and there's some meh. But let me know what you are most excited about as well in the comment section, and I will do my best to respond to as many comments as I can. And if somebody for the life of me can explain the logic behind the platinum reduction, and it makes sense, I'll pin the comment at the top so everyone else can see it, because I need someone to clarify it for me. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.